You're listening to Where You Live with Gene and Tony.
We're back. This is Where You Live with Gene and Tony. We're broadcasting from the Natural Green Lawn and Landscape Studios. We're brought to you, of course, by Extreme Exteriors and American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency. As an American Family Insurance agent, Kim believes that there's much more to insurance than the policy itself. It's about providing you with dependable protection and service. Kim believes that trust and credibility can't be demanded. It only can be earned by what you say and what you do. Give her a call at 651-482-1598. It's now time for a message by the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association. The MHA Minute is brought to you by Start to Finish Maintenance Contracting. Start to Finish provides 24-hour service for all your home, business, and maintenance needs. Give them a call at 952-259-1219 for your home, for your business, for your peace of mind.
Some of the benefits of successful property management. Are you ready? On-time payment of rent, improved resident quality, stabilized income, reduced turnover, controlled expenses, improved financial performance, less property wear and tear, allowance for property improvements, enhanced property value, being proactive, not reactive, better relationships with neighbors, fewer police calls, creating a community, being a great neighbor. These are some of the benefits of good property management. And whether you run a townhome association or you are renting out your condo, duplex, or 100-plus unit building, membership with the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association gives you the tools you need to run your business effectively while minimizing the headaches. Don't be a good landlord, be a great one. Visit www.mmha.com. That's two M's, mmha.com.
Now, in our last segment here, we were talking about this blog someone had sent out in the blogosphere, making the statement that I found kind of interesting, saying that they thought that HOAs, by their very nature, are discriminatory because it sounds like because he was stating because they have rules, and those rules so often set up boundaries that segregate people and is a basis for the discrimination that we see that continues on. I wonder about that. I don't know that I would find an organization in and of itself discriminatory. Because if you say that by very nature of the act that an organization is discriminatory, then would that not also travel to every other organization? How about the organization called the federal government? They're organized. They have rules and laws set up, but because of that, are they, by their very nature, discriminatory? I would think we would say no, because they're the ones that are helping the people turn to when they think that they are being discriminated upon. So I don't know that I agree with this. I think in this whole episode of discrimination, unfortunately, I think that, again, the rhetoric has just gone a little bit too far, and sometimes we see in society people are considered almost guilty until proven innocent, especially when it comes to just being insinuated with showing any kind of discrimination at all. Now, I want to say that's not to say that I don't believe discrimination does not exist, because it does, and these organizations are needed. But there are some things that I think you as our listeners ought to really know and remember. Number one, a number of these organizations like HUD that will follow and take a look and investigate a claim against discrimination. A lot of regulatory agencies we have in our government are not an elected office. So by that means that these are people who are put in place and aren't subject to the whims of you, the public, of the people, of its citizens, to put people in place and take them out. And because of that, they don't have anybody that they necessarily report to. If you take a look at any investigation, you'll find out you could be dealing with the federal government, with the Department of Housing and Urban Development. You may be dealing with a county fair housing and equal opportunity regional director. You may be dealing with the state Minnesota Department of Human Rights. You're dealing with different organizations. If you talk to all of them and say who's in charge, They all will say I am, but sometimes there isn't that accountability. So there's a concern that I have because of that. Number two, it's important to realize that with a number of organizations, it's not that they are bad or try to be, but remember, they continue on because they prove their worth year after year. Therefore, they go to the public trough and ask for funding each and every year. So a lot of times an agency, a regulatory agency, is not commended on the quality of their work as much as the quantity. They can go back and say, look, we have been able to take care of 1,000 cases versus 50 cases. They show and prove their value and worth and continue to exist. And so the way they're set up, I don't think that it's set up necessarily in the best interests of the consumer or its citizens. In business, I know that you will always get what you reward. And if you're rewarding a regulatory agency just by the number of cases that they can go through, that's a much different situation than actually taking a look at the quality of the work. Was it indeed discriminatory? And many times what these agencies are trying to do, I think, is nothing more than fight an idea, not a well-spelled-out set of tangible rules and sometimes they're just misguided. Well, hey, looks like that's all the time we've got for today's show, folks. Thanks for listening to Where You Live with Gene and Tony. We look forward to having you here next Saturday. Until then, have a great rest of your weekend.
How sweet it is to be loved.